In this session, we're going to look at how to edit a POS tender type setup. These tender types will be your default accounts. In other words, these were the ones that we've created for you. Let me just show you where you would use this. If I close my setup option and you say point of sale, sale and cash sale, select an item a cashier would want to buy from you, and I say F1. Now this is my tender media where you can specify cash, credit card, check, the gift voucher, you have coupon, you have a more button, that you have all these different types of tender media. In other words, this is how would you receive money from a customer. I'm just going to avoid my sale and take you back to the setup. Utility setup, POS tender setup, where I will explain to you how to edit one of these accounts. I can click on cash and then I'm going to click on edit. You can't change the code or the type. You can change the description. The next option we will look at is allow over tendering. Now in this case for cash it is on, which means if someone owes me 150 Rand, they can give me 200 Rand and I will give them change. That's over tendering. If you do use over tendering, you can specify the lowest allowable over tender amount or perhaps the highest amount, but you don't have to create them if you don't want to, and you can still use your over tendering. Then the next two options is for discount, a fixed value or a fixed percentage. I always advise you that for discount you make sure you have a fixed value or a fixed percentage, because otherwise if you leave it open, the cashier can actually give discount as much as they like unless you've got security on the option. Then ask for an expiry date. That would be a credit card option. Is this bankable? In other words, will I physically be able to bank it? For instance, a coupon or a voucher will not be bankable. Then electronic transfer. Will this be an electronic transfer? You can specify that. You can switch it on if you want. And then open the drawer. In other words, when you select this tender media, must it kick that drawer open for you? For instance, with a credit card, you would not need the drawer to kick open. Then the last two options. This is not an option that's applicable for IQ Free POS. This will just be shown here that if a ledger account would be used, these are the two accounts to use. You cannot change it. This will only be applicable at a later stage if you upgrade from IQ Free POS to POS or to IQ Business or to IQ Enterprise. Then that would automatically then be applicable and it will then connect to the ledger module. IQ Free POS does not have a ledger module. Then you can click on accept. And that concludes this session on tender media.